What's going on, guys? JT here and welcome back to the channel. Last night I caught the opening of Moana 2 at my local theater, so today we're going to be doing a non-spoiler review, so let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so going into the movie, my expectations were super high as the first Moana film is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. I've probably seen that movie about 1,000,000 times at this point on Disney+. I think it is a masterpiece. The story, the songs, for me it's one of the best Disney movies of all time. I did temper my expectations a little bit going into it. Once I kind of found out that this was originally going to be a Disney Plus show, and then of course they decided, you know what, scratch that, we're gonna make this into a movie and release it in theaters, which of course for Disney makes a ton of sense. The amount of money this movie is going to make in the box office is going to be massive. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that the show would convert into a really good movie. With that being said, I know I love the characters, Moana, Maui, and the rest of the gang, so that left me going into the movie pretty open-minded, and I really was just intrigued to see how this story of Moana and Maui would continue and where their story would go after such an amazing setup in the first film. The movie follows a pretty similar blueprint as the first one, except this time we really get to see an older, more mature Moana. And the first film, she's really this young kid, really trying to figure out the history of her people and explore the beyond. And now she is a leader of her people, someone that the kids and everyone around her look up to. And she really is the decision maker. Everyone follows her lead. And with that comes a lot of consequences and responsibilities for her as well. I really loved how we got to dive deeper into her family, her culture, and the history of her people in this story, and that's what really kicks off her next adventure in this film. Once again, the animation in this movie is breathtaking. It is some of the best animation you will ever see. A lot like the first one, just the colors, the way they animate the ocean, it's just unbelievable what they're able to do now within animation, and it's really just jaw-dropping how amazing it looks. But for me, where this movie did take a step backwards was the soundtrack. Of course, the expectations were super high. The first movie pretty much has no misses when it comes to the soundtrack, and of course, Lin-Manuel Miranda didn't do any of the songs for this one, as it was originally supposed to be a TV show, so he wasn't a part of it. And you could definitely feel his fingerprints on some of the songs, but they just don't hit like they did in the first one. There is a few good songs in this that I really enjoyed, like Beyond and Where We're Meant to Be, I thought were fantastic, but other songs didn't hit as much for me. The movie, of course, for me, is at its best when Moana and Maui are sharing the screen. Just the dynamic between these two characters and how they bounce off each other is fantastic. And when these two get back together, it is a home run for the rest of the movie. And just, you are stuck to the screen anytime they're together and when they're going on this grand adventure. We also got some additional characters in this movie that join Moana and Maui on their grand adventure, and overall I really like them. None of them are anything too crazy. I did love the Kakamora character, he was awesome. But for me, the biggest new character that was the best was Moana's little sister. She is fantastic in this movie. Some great lines between her and Moana, and just the relationship that they have formed, and just the impact it has on her as an older sister. So that is really cool to see, and just the inspiration she is to her little sister is awesome, and definitely I know a lot of siblings out there can relate to. There was a ton of comedic relief in this movie, of course, with Heihei and Pua back in their roles, and both of them are fantastic and add tons of comedic relief throughout in a classic Disney animation way, and they definitely got some big laughs out of my theater while we were watching it. In some ways, you can definitely tell this was originally supposed to be a TV show. You can almost see when the episodes would have ended, but for me, the third act was really good. I was glued to the story and what was going on, and it really sets up nicely if they want to do a Moana 3 with how they ended it and what could be coming in the future. They did end up taking a page from Marvel and add a mid-credit scene, so stay in your seats at the end of the movie, as this could be very important if they end up doing a Moana 3 or if they continue it via a TV show like they were going to do with this movie. Overall, I think if you are a fan of the first film and of these characters, you are going to really enjoy this movie. It doesn't reach the potential the first one had, but it's still a lot of fun and a really cool story that is told within this movie, and I think it's going to be a hit for all ages. Definitely, if you're a family, bring the kiddos out to watch this one. It is an awesome time, and I'm really looking forward to see what the future of this character is, and if they end up announcing a Moana 3 around the corner. For me, I'd probably rate this movie an 8 out of 10. It doesn't reach the heights of the first film, and the soundtrack is a little bit lacking, but it's still a really fun family story, and it really was great to get new Moana and Maui stories and really dive into the history and the culture of their people, and I'm hoping that we get more in the future. But in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on the movie if you have already seen it. And if you haven't, let me know when you're going to see this movie. And as always, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.